it should come 2-inch. And keep going. It changes to 1.5 somewhere over here. So this should be a 2-inch line. And it goes to 1.5 over there. Okay, I see. So probably after this T somewhere, it gets into 1.5. So you have cold water 2-inch, inner condition. You have cold water 1.5.
So you want us to create a different condition for each type of size of
Right.
line?
Exactly, because when you go to buy it, you will have different diameters, right? So you need to identify that as a different diameter. Normally, if you're doing an estimate where you just want to get an idea on the price, you won't do this. You will do just a quick line linear estimate. Take an average price and calculate the cost of all your piping at once. Add a contingency value, and you're done. But if you think that this job you will get this job, right? Then you want to be careful in the different estimates for the diameters, because when you go to buy the materials, you already have a good take.
You want to be as accurate as possible.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to estimate the different diameters and having each one of those identified from ahead of time. 1.5, right? One and a half. Then we have the hot water. These branches in 1.25. Okay. So cold water 1.25. Oh my God. Goes here. See, so this in this case we have a main line. It's a 2-inch water line that comes here. Then it branches to the water heater in 1.25, and it keeps going forward in 1.5. So from 2 inches, it changed diameter over there. So and then this is good, because then when you get your list of items, your takeoff, you have you can identify what different diameters you have. So that's a good thing to have. You're accurate in your estimate. We've talked about having the different types, right? Concrete openings. We can create a new one for plumbing. So now we can have those separated here. This helps to quickly visualize all the different diameters that you may have. And of course, you may want to change the description to match also the materials. If you have PVC or you have copper, you may want to do that too. It depends on how you want to organize your estimate. Because the two options that I see that you have, you can have in your description the material also, or you can have it on your notes, right? So if you know, I think they said it was copper, right? In the schedule, the hot water, cold water 9, it's copper, if I'm not mistaken. So it says here this should be type L hard tempered copper. So you can type these cold and hot water, all of these will be hard tempered copper type L. You can write that down into your notes. So that way you, when you go to your takeoff, you have that that information in here, and that helps you when you do your cost estimate. Okay. Water. Okay. So these pressure lines, do they have a slope?
No.
No. Very good. And then we have the elevation changes here. We're coming from above, and then we need to drop down here to the sink. We're coming from above, we need to drop the hot water. Where else do we need to drop? We need to drop over here. So one way to do that is create a count condition, right? And then on that count condition, you can have, for example, hot water drop 1 1/4, right? So I'm going to do this a circle, and I'm going to use a, so I have one here. I'm going to have one here and one here. Well, probably this would go just one, and then branch to the sides. I don't know. I will have to look at it, at the drawing. Let me see the isometric again.
Yeah, it's a single.
It's a single drop, right?
Yeah.
So these drops, right, the hot water drop, what it will tell me is this, for me, will be a change in elevation, right? So what is the height of the ceiling? 9 feet?
8.6, I think.
8.6 or 9 feet, yeah. So these are vertical lines of about 9 feet. So what I'm doing here is by counting, by putting those circles, I'm saying that the pipe comes here, gets to that point, and then drops down 9 feet. So they will be also included in my plumbing type, right? And then when I do my estimate, when I take these to Excel, I am going to use in my calculations those drops to estimate the length of piping. So for example, I will copy this, go to Excel, to my on-screen takeoff, paste that here, and then I can have a calculation here where I have, for example, hot water line length, right? And I have 1¼ inch linear feet. Oops. So you can have here horizontal, for example. This way I am separating the horizontal takeoff from the drop. So the horizontal takeoff will be my on-screen takeoff, hot water 1½ inch, 33 feet, right? And then the drops, I will have the on-screen takeoff, hot water drop, I have 2 each, but each one of these is 9 feet, right? So I will multiply by 9, and that's my linear feet. So the total will be the sum of these two. So when I want to do, when I go and buy 1½ inch pipe, I will need 51 feet, not 33 as I did on the horizontal takeoff, because I am considering also the drops that I have. And I'll probably add also some waste factor to it. But see, I am making a more accurate estimate by considering these drops that I will do if I don't have them. Okay? Make sense? And then after we have that, what we need to do, of course, is to go ahead and find the cost for these pipes. Okay, so now what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out the cost for these pipes. I found this cost reference. It has pipe, brass, copper here. So we have, see, this is the one that we were looking at. The specification said type L. So we have type L tubing. And then we were looking at 1¼ diameter, right? So for every linear feet, you have $835 in materials, $720 installation for a $1,555 total cost. So you can use that value in your Excel file. So in Excel, now when I go and do plumbing, so I want to add here plumbing, right? I'll do this one yellow. The code that I would like to have in here is for 1¼ so that would be, now, what do you think? Do you care if it is hot water or cold water for the cost of that piping? You don't care, right? So in your calculations, you can have the hot water pipe length, you can have the cold water pipe length, and then the quantity of work will come from this calculation, 70 feet. So I have $1,000 in this part. Okay, so going back to this and your question, do I want to have the separation of cold water and hot water if I'm going to add them at the end anyway, because I'm going to get the same type of piping? It's up to you. I mean, it's completely up to you. I particularly like to have it detailed from the estimate, so I know, you know, where the hot water is, where the cold water is, and how much needs to be installed of each one of those. But if that information is not useful to you, then what you do want to have, it's a different condition for each type of pipe in materials and diameter. So you could have all your 1 1/4 inch piping made out of copper with the same condition. It's up to you. You know, it really depends on how you want to do the estimate.
Yeah.